My wife, 31F, goes too far in her kinks and keeps emotionally cheating on me, 30M. Hello all. Over the past year my wife of 3 years, together for 10, has recently gotten into smut books which led her to begin exploring some kinks, sub, dom, daddy, little. I believe having outlets is healthy and have been very supportive of her interests, even leaning and trying to explore with her, usually audiobooks, imagery etc. Over the past 6 months however, I have found out on 3 separate occasions that she has been directly sexually messaging guys, dirty talk, photos etc. who fulfill her kinks, which I am very not comfortable with. In the first 2 situations she joined community groups for her kinks where guys were able to reach out to her and she reciprocated. After finding out she deleting both platforms and I've told her I give her one more chance. Recently she has joined a community group, comprised of women, who chat about a specific voice content creator, but yesterday I found out she has been messaging this content creator directly, doing the same things as the prior situations. Outside of these situations we have had an extremely happy relationship and we both love and care for each other very much. But after the 3rd teen clearly it seems she has needs for other things. Currently I am considering taking some space and having her move back with her family for a bit to reflect and decide if this is really what she wants, maybe give her some perspective on what she stands to lose. Also looking at therapy options as well. I just feel like after the 3rd time I don't think I can just forgive her and move on again. Would appreciate an suggestion, advice. TLDR. I've caught my wife 3 times DMing guys to fulfill her kinks, mostly dirty talk, subdom. Kink is one thing. This is cheating. She seems to think her specific interests give her a pass on this. Life is too short to stay with cheaters. She won't stop. I don't think she cares, to be honest, when she knows it's hurting you and you're not okay with it. You two aren't compatible even if you are in other aspects. I'm sorry dude, but you should consider divorce. She is actively disrespecting your marriage. Thing is, you told her that you give her one more chance. Now she blew that chance. If you now stay with her, then things will only escalate further. So far she lost all respect for you, but now she will also no longer take you serious if you don't respect yourself and don't live up to your own word. You deserve so much more than to be treated this way. Edit. Sending her back to her parents' place is a good idea. Tell her to not contact you until you reach out to her. For now you need time on your own to let go of the woman that you thought she was and to see her for who she is. 3rd strike, sorry man. It's done. This is cheating, however you want to cut it. And she knows it's wrong, that's why she was hiding it. It will get worse if you stay. Why isn't she coming to you to fulfill this need? Is there a reason you can't? I was never very sub-dom oriented until I met a previous relationship. I think space is essential, as is therapy. But man, I'm sorry she cheated 3 times. That's more patience than I have. Fuck that. Give her walking papers. My F28 boyfriend, M28, refuses to go to the shops or wash up, ever. My partner won't buy groceries or wash up. After multiple arguments we agreed on, whoever cooks, the other washes up, cue me cooking and then him still refusing to do it, or start an argument over there being other stuff to wash up. Every time I try to say I'm fed up with being the only one to go to the shops, literally a 2-minute walk away, he goes, well if neither of us want to go, then we'll have something frozen, Uber Eats, the groceries, UK version of DoorDash, so either unhealthy or expensive. If I don't go, we don't have food to cook. I'm at the point of going to buy my own food, cooking, washing up, and letting him fend for himself. I just don't want to be that petty. We share a groceries pot so money isn't the issue. We normally do a big shop online, so it's just when we're out, want to cook something new, or need to top up on a few things. These are the 2 things we both dislike the most in terms of housework, but otherwise everything else is split 50-50. He's great in all other aspects, just is so stubborn over these issues and won't budge. Any other suggestions of how to handle this? Update. I read a few comments, picked myself up and told him I'm off to buy dinner for myself if he's going to be a jerk. He came up to me in the shop and apologized. I guess I just need to stop being such a pushover. Be that petty. Do your own shopping, cooking and washing. Then move out. He's treating you like a servant. I'm at the point of going to buy my own food, cooking, washing up, and letting him fend for himself. I just don't want to be that petty. Lucky for him he has no such issues being a jerk. You can't make him do it. It would be a deal breaker for me if my partner outright refused to do his share of the shared work in your shared household. You get to decide if that is a deal breaker for you. Real question. Why are you with someone who refuses to budge on such a foundational issue? And please don't say because you love him or everything else is so wonderful. Do better because you deserve better. I'd move out and end the relationship. He's turning you into someone that you dislike simply because he refuses to be an adult and take care of his obligations. No relationship is worth that. Stop dating loser men. He's not going to change. Why are your standards in hell? Stop investing your energy into a piece of crap and start loving yourself instead. Seriously, you need to get your shit together. Sorry for the tough love, but this is ultimately a you problem that only you can fix by leaving. Do you want a son who can't fend for himself or a partner? My mother, 60F, thinks I, 30F, don't visit enough. How often is normal do you visit your parents? This is a bit out of the usual, not a romantic partner but a parent relationship advice. I, 30F, called my mom, 60F, to make Mother's Day plans. I got a hello with a tone immediately when she picked up, so I asked what was wrong and got absolutely steamrolled about how awful of a daughter I am because I don't spend time with her or do enough things with her, despite having seen her less than a week before and called her about the same, so I'm really not sure what spurred this. And then she proceeded to just go on full attack mode with insults on anything she could think of. What I am trying to figure out is if she is right, and we don't spend a normal amount of time together. Usually I call her once a week and visit her in person somewhere between once every 2 weeks to once a month. For the most part our visits are usually just me driving to her place to talk for an hour or so or to help her with something and leave. Is that in the realm of normal for an adult? If you are an adult over 25, I feel like we as humans tend to visit more in our early 20s. How often do you visit your parents? This is manipulation. Don't give in. She should re-evaluate what kind of a parent she has been. I text my mom maybe once a month or every other month. In the last 8 years I've seen her 4 times. My husband sees his parents maybe once a month, and his mom calls every few days, and their conversations are usually around 5-10 minutes. Normal is going to be different for each family. I have a theory. She just had a chat with a friend or neighbor that went on and on about how close her and her kids are. Invites her on vacations with them, etc. Now she's feeling jealous and bitter of a relationship she didn't spend time building. I'm a mom and I found that being bitchy and complaining doesn't make my kids want to spend more time with me. I also believe that obligatory appearances are no fun for either of us. I love seeing my kids, but they are adults with their own lives and families, so I get it that I'm not their highest priority anymore. Nor should I be. That's why I have a life. My mother is in her 80s and has limited other relationships. I see her once a week and sadly resent it. For what it's worth, I live roughly 2 blocks from my elderly parents' home. Didn't plan it, just worked out that way. I tend to take my mother out for shopping and lunch every 2 weeks or so and call her once a week, with a few texts here and there scattered during the week. So I'm on roughly the same schedule as you are and I think we're both doing fine. Your mother, however, is absolutely barking mad. Boyfriend, M46, got upset that I, F28, didn't like the gift he got me. My, F28, boyfriend, M46, recently got me a pair of shoes that were very much not my style. They were ugly but just not something I would ever have picked myself. He had FaceTimed me to show me when they arrived and he was very excited. However, when he showed me the shoes I thanked him for thinking of me but just told him that they were really my style and that maybe we could return them and get something that is more me. He got very upset and hung up on me but then acted as if everything was fine for the next 2 days. On the 3rd day he picked a fight with me when he was drunk and the next morning he told me it was because he was still upset that I didn't like the shoes got me. He said it hurt his feelings that I wasn't as excited as he was and that I could have at least acted a little excited. I told him that I was just trying to be honest with him and that I really do appreciate that he thought of me to get them at all, but I didn't want to lie to him and tell him I liked them and pretend when I didn't. Was I being the asshole? I'll try not to dunk on you about the age gap, but you're not in the wrong here. I get why he's hurt, but the old boy should understand women are picky about their style. Gift cards are usually better for that kind of thing. When you date men who are 2 decades older than you will always find that they're stunted little babies. This is just the deal. If you like it, keep dating him. Why are you dating a guy who is almost 20 years older than you but is too immature to have a rational discussion and instead gets drunk and picks fights with you over nothing? You can do better than this, girl. He's not dating someone nearly 2 decades younger than himself because he wants to value their opinions. You weren't the asshole, but if he'd be this way about shoes he's probably this way about other things, so you may have guessed that he'd be petulant about it. If you're going to put yourself into this kind of skewed power dynamic relationship, the better course of action may have been to accept the shoes, put them in your closet, then just change the subject every time he asked why you're not wearing them. P.S. If these shoes are anything that could be construed as fetish-related, his irritation isn't just over your ingratitude but because he feels you've denied him some kind of sexual thrill he was looking for. You're seeing the reason that he's comfortable dating someone young enough to be his daughter. The women his own age won't put up with this shit. And as you voice your opinion, even if it doesn't mesh with his, then he's going to continue to act this way until you decide that you aren't going to put up with this shit, either. There's a reason 40-plus women didn't want to date him.